Can y'all hear me? All right. Y'all should be able to hear me now. Man, I just said a bunch and y'all ain't hear none of that. I'm a I'm gonna go over here in a second, man. Hold on. Where's my videos at? Why are they not showing my videos? Hmm. The instructions. What's up, guys? Go to the channel. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm not gonna. Yeah, so y'all okay? Cool. It's got a double screen on there, which is cool, man. Ain't how I wanted it, but we can work with that. So y'all can hear me now. Sound check good. Yeah, man. I haven't been on because, like I said, I did receive 2 strikes on one of my channels. Another channel got removed, so I got my main channel that I'm on right now. What's up, Joseph? Um, I'm on that channel right now, broadcasting. I'm on Rumble. I'm on BitChute. Um, but it's been a circus, man. It's been a circus trying to keep up, man, and stay in the loop with you guys with stuff that's going on, man. I've had so much I want to go over the last couple of weeks, man. I just hadn't. I took a break, man. Like I said, I couldn't. It's like if I put some stuff out there, it's a chance I might catch a strike, might lose another channel. So I waited out as long as I about could, and I just kind of left some of that stuff on the stove. I'm gonna get to it. I want to say sometime this week, man. I might hit on some stuff. I'm gonna try to tread lightly, man. I told y'all with the videos, I'm gonna try and float under the radar because I've been taking too much heat, man. I've been taking too much heat. And the good thing, I showed y'all the video, the last one I did, where I was talking about how Trump was reversing the some of the censorship that they've been putting in. He was reversing it. If you go back and look at some of the executive orders and things, some of the stuff that he had implemented, even back in 2018, 19, he had implemented things to keep them from being able to silence us from free speech. A lot of that stuff got overturned because Biden went in and they wanted to basically control social media, control the platforms and everything, which they've done. So I appreciate it, Joseph. I'm gonna put the cash app on screen, but let me say the censorship stuff that they were doing. That was in spite of what Trump had already kind of put out there. He was making it so that, people could have, their thoughts, their own opinions, and not be, relegated to some of the strongholds or the monopolies that's been put in place by, the far reaching left, because they basically look to control. And it's not about so much left and right wing. I told y'all that it's so much like the right wing and the left wing, they both been, two birds of the two wings of the same bird for the most part. But yeah, Trump was actually trying to change that so that people can say what they want. Elon Musk, it's hard to like decipher who's on what side because Elon, he doing the robot thing, man. And I ain't that robot piece, man. I'm telling y'all, that's serious, man. I really don't know how that's gonna play out, but the fact that they using these robots the way they are, man, it's really no telling. It's really no telling how that's gonna play out, because robots, that's not good. We get that much technology, man. Them folks kind of taking over with that. They're not gonna need a lot of human beings. I'm telling y'all, they're not gonna need a lot of human beings. Now, how that's gonna play out later on down the line, I couldn't tell you. I just know that if you look at the movies, the predictive programming, them creating them AI robots and stuff, it has never bode well for the human race. It hasn't. All right. But like I said, Elon Musk was doing, he opened up Twitter to be able to have free speech so people can, voice their concerns and their thoughts on both sides of the aisle. All right. So you have to look at that. Now, I'm talking about the censorship piece. I've seen some things occur over the last, couple weeks that will lead me to believe that we about to have freedom of speech back, where you can say what you want. I also told you, as far as Trump, what he's about to do, he's about to change it so that like these platforms like YouTube and everything else, they're not going to be able to block and censor truth. Okay, they can label it. They can label it misinformation, disinformation, but they can't censor it. Okay, right now, y'all know I've been shadow banned since 2019. I've been shadow banned. Okay, anybody that don't understand that, you can look no further than my videos from the past. You can go from BitChute to YouTube. You see my videos was going from 15, 20,000 views on a consistent to 200-300 views. Okay, not to mention prior to that, we were talking about viral, million views, 600,000 views, 700,000 views. That has since been, been pretty much evaporated, all of that. But what's supposed to happen as of January 20th, 21st, they supposed to be reversing all that, so freedom of speech will be back. A lot of truthers will be able to come back and speak their truths. All the people that were censored for talking about what happened to them, for taking a walk and whatnot, those folks will be able to come on and tell you, kind of what happened with them, the stories that we haven't heard. I'm sure there's millions. I want to see what it might break the net, man. It might break the internet. It might break the internet when they actually, drop the information. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of stuff that a lot of people haven't heard before. But so I put the Cashapp on the screen, man, for those that want to support, man. I appreciate it, Joseph, for even mentioning it, man. Like I said, I don't get donations like that, and I haven't been monetized, haven't received pay for creating the videos and things for you guys, man. I just been doing it. A lot of these other folks are still out here that's on YouTube, they getting some type of compensation for it. This has just been me, just doing it, man, keeping y'all abreast of what's happening, keeping y'all abreast of what's going on the best I can. And it's crazy because so much of what I talk about, man, what we've been dealing with, is all linked, like it's all linked together. So you have to be abreast of what's going on, because I brought this. It started with this stuff. Like, I got Jayz on the screen right now, right? This is where the stuff started that led us down the rabbit hole. Okay, it led to Oprah Winfrey. It led to the stuff, the tunnels up under the houses in the mansions and stuff. It led to the politicians doing stuff. It led to the cult. It led to the satanic worship, the rituals. It led to the priesthood. It led to those that were trying to call the race. You see what I'm saying? It led to the time travel. It led to Trump and it led to these other beings. It led to the planned attacks. You see what I'm saying? It led to the poison, the toxic, the food, the water, the trails. It led to all of that. So like, we've been on this journey, man. And I like to go back to the roots, because like sometimes we can get so far off track because we're talking about one thing that we forget some of the key integral pieces that have fitting in this equation, that without it you can't really understand where we come from, where we at, and where we going. All right. So I like to look at like everything that's going on right now, and people have always, I've taken criticism or taken flack for some of the stuff that I've talked about as far as it pertains to Trump and his position in all this. Okay. And for some people that's coming on, they don't understand my angle, but they don't understand the cloning. Okay, so we talking about cloning, the cloning centers. You see, we talking about consciousness. We talking about spirituality. We talking about so much, man. Like you really can't compartmentalize all this stuff, man. You got to be able to see the broad picture, piece it all together, and look at it as a whole. Where we at today and the stuff that's going on today, man, it's a lot. But some things indicate that other things are going on that's happening. All right. Like I even alluded to Gasara, like that piece. Okay, how that factors in with all of this. And then you look at what Trump has been doing and some of the stuff we're talking about dealing with the IRS. We're talking about, man, the straw man. I got a video in YouTube that's still up right now. One of the videos they didn't touch where it talks about the straw man, your name in all caps and all that. All of this stuff, you know, it all is right there linked together. And, you know, even like we was talking about the Diddy stuff. And y'all found out that Diddy was doing satanic rituals, right? And this is why I'll be going with y'all with stuff like, just because you don't believe in it and you don't agree with some things that's going on doesn't mean it's not going on. All right. It doesn't mean it's not going on. It doesn't mean that you are not affected by this stuff. Some people like hear no evil, see no evil. This stuff doesn't bother me. Right. But they're wrong because it does. This stuff does apply. It applies to all of us. A lot of stuff going on that you just may not know about, you may not pay attention to because you have not been privy to the information. All right. Like you wonder why some people are wealthy the way they are. And then you find out they doing some kind of, you know, sacred, you know, monetary ritual to bring this type of finance into their life, these type of, you know, blessings is what they might call it, but the stuff that they doing to get it. Just like we see John Legend, man, he's on the he's constantly on the TV during the NFL games and stuff, and he's talking about, you know, 2 for 1. Same thing Travis Kelce was saying. They trying to tell people to go do this and that. They're paying the price, they paying the piper. But John Legend, what he do? Sacrifices with his firstborn son, right? And just like Donald Marshall was talking about, like y'all, you sacrifice your firstborn child, you get something for that. Okay, for why? What? I don't know, man. But this is something to that, and a lot of these celebrities do this stuff. So, yeah, Diddy was doing rituals and stuff, but Diddy hang with who? He hang with Jay-Z. You don't think Jay-Z doing rituals and stuff? You know? Just like we talk about how Aaliyah died, we don't know what really happened to Aaliyah. We don't know the real situation. We know that she was being preyed on by pedophiles. R. Kelly, you know, he linked with Jay-Z and them. Like, he been in prison, peeing on women and all that. But he's a pedophile, right? He's doing this stuff. And these folks basically have been hanging together. So does it surprise you when one of them go down, who else might be involved with stuff that's similar? So anyway, we're gonna get to some of the stuff, man. But I like to go back, man, touch on the roots of some things that we might have missed, some things that we haven't really been talking about so much. We've talked about Diddy. We talked a lot about Diddy. We talked about Kim Porter's book. She put a lot of information out there about what was going on in Hollywood. Okay. Jay-Z, these folks are part of this same, you know, circle or ring of pedophiles and things, right? And their involvement with the cults and things and how they've manipulated some of these women, some of these men too, music artists, entertainers, just like the producer for Diddy was talking about how he had to do all kind of stuff he didn't want no parts of because he was messing with Diddy, and he was just trying to do music, but he had to, you know, he was basically humiliated. He was forced to do things that was out of his character because he wanted to stay a part of that. And Diddy took advantage of him, right? But just like Kim's talking about her book, how these certain boyfriends she was having were all dying of like pneumonia and stuff. Donald Marshall talked about how they would use certain things. They had ways of killing people, and you wouldn't know it. You would think it was just a regular heart attack or it was a regular illness or stuff. But no, it was actually triggered by something these celebrities would do to people. So certain celebrities, just like Diddy had the Diddy juice and the baby oil, shoot, they had other stuff that they use. Like if you got a problem with somebody, we'll give you this. Go dump this in their drink. Go put this in their coffee. You know, go put this in a lotion bottle at home, and your problems with them will be done. That's if they ain't doing some kind of satanic ritual on you on top of that, which they could easily do that as well. So this is the stuff that's going on, man. Jay-Z is just as dirty as Diddy. Make no mistake about it. Birds of a feather do flock together. Make no mistake about it. And I've showed y'all a video where y'all remember Beyonce, she was good at one point. Beyonce was on a whole different path, a whole different trajectory, man. And she started messing with this clown. And she started going in a different direction. Next thing you know, you seen her being, possessed. She got possessed on stage. I showed y'all that in the, was it Super Bowl? One of the Super Bowls. She was on there and the thing came through her, and you could see her neck wide, and you could see her eyes went dark, like hazy black, like crazy. Like she looked sick, man. And like a lot of people couldn't tell, like, hey, that was a demon that went up in her. Okay, a demon spirit. Make no mistake about it. Demon and spirit. Spirit, you got spirits of those of the past. Remember, she claimed to call on Sasha Fierce, which was like an ancient Egyptian queen, goddess. I don't know exactly, but when you vibrating low, you open yourself up to be inhabited by dark spirits, dark entities that's floating around, that's waiting for bodies and vessels to inhabit. And Beyonce was ripe for the taking. She had been lowered. Her vibration had been lowered. I'm sure Jay-Z got her there, about the stuff he was doing. And she was able to be taken over. And she said it. And a lot of these artists say, I can't tell you what happened. Something takes over me. Jay-Z done said it. Eminem done said it. Beyonce done said it. Something takes over me. And I just perform. And they have these flawless performances, right? Flawless performances. And people don't understand why. How? It's just like the Matrix, man. Just like the Matrix. A program getting installed in your system. Boom. You're going to be able to do karate, new jinjitsu, and all that stuff, man. Your ass ain't never had a day of training. You ain't got to go to no training, no nothing. You just show up and it's going to work. So, anywho, I want to go over this Jay-Z piece because we've been doing a lot more focusing on Diddy, man, and we missed out on things that might have been, linked to Jay-Z and some of the stuff that's going on his side. We're going to start delving into all of these celebrities, man, and politicians. We're going to start picking these folks apart, man. I'm going to start picking them apart. So we're going to grab some videos and things, man, that might be relevant to these particular artists so that we can look at it all together, man, and just kind of get our own opinions formulated, So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and play this video here. Let's see.
You don't become a billionaire on accident. However, many people believe that reaching that level of wealth often comes with a few skeletons in the closet. Recently, the high-profile prosecution of his longtime friend Diddy has put Jay-Z's past business dealings and industry interactions under intense global scrutiny. This has led many to ask, what happened to the artist who rejected Roc Nation? And it's not just his well-documented conflicts with figures like his former partner Dame Dash or R. Kelly being brought back into the spotlight. Because now, people are looking at the amount of people who refuse to sign with Roc Nation only to see their careers falter in the aftermath. Or, in the worst case scenario, they even lost their lives. It's your boy Luesta, and this is what happens when you say no to Roc Nation. Among the biggest earning entertainment companies in the world today, Roc Nation has grown at a rapid rate. Since their initial founding in 2008, they developed one of the most impressive rosters in music management while dropping albums from the likes of J. Cole, Rihanna, and of course, Jay-Z himself. While they have their critics, they are always praised by those who roll with them, including female hip-hop superstar Megan Thee Stallion. After signing to the company in 2019, the self-declared hot girl coach has always saluted Hove and the team, including its CEO, Desiree Perez.
It just felt like I was in the right spot. Like I said, I was manifesting a lot of stuff in myself. Never did I ever think that I was actually going to be managed by the people that I looked up to. It just felt like a big family. They're just so intelligent. Like they've been through everything. They still going through it right now, but they just know how to carry it. And I'm learning from the best. I feel like I'm in the right spot. I'm in the right position. I ain't never felt so like safe in a situation where I feel like these people got my back. And I just see how much they grind and how much they hustle and how much they let all the talk and whatever else you gotta say just roll off their back. I'll call Jay or Des. Des is the woman who really run shit at Roc Nation. Right. And I'll be like, they saying this about me. They got me fucked up now. And they'll be somewhere on the island like, why you even care about that? They tripping. Like.
And while that's exactly what Megan would want to have in her corner, there are rumors that the label flexed this power to make life very difficult for a man who was not just an enemy of hers, but a man who had turned down the opportunity to sign with them. Back in 2020, Tory Lanez was on a high when he attended the Roc Nation brunch. In May of that year, he had managed to free himself from his label at the same time that he had reached the peak of his commercial success. So when he pulled up to the famed annual event, he made quite a splash alongside none other than Megan. He seemed to hint that he was being courted by major labels such as Roc Nation. To be 100%, there's so many labels offering me so much money, like millions of dollars, he said. I've gotten offers that are life-changing, but I don't care. I already own my master's in publishing and everything, so I don't see any reason to give that to somebody else. But no shorter than 2 months after he was turning down these major deals, Tory's life would fall apart. On the night of July 12th, 2020, Los Angeles Police Department officers from the Hollywood Division responded to a call regarding shots fired at around 4:30 a.m. Lanez was pulled over and arrested for carrying a concealed firearm in his vehicle. Meanwhile, Megan Thee Stallion, who was present during the arrest, was taken to the hospital because of a foot injury. According to them, Lanez caused great bodily injury to Megan. From there, a bitter legal battle ensued, which I've talked about at length in other videos. But why this is relevant is because throughout the course of the legal process, which would eventually lead to Tory getting a 10-year sentence, he insisted that Roc Nation was trying to prevent him from telling his side of the story. Otherwise, there would be consequences.
2 days after that, I get a call from Roc Nation that says, yo, we heard you're going to make a statement about what happened, and it'd be in your best interest if you don't make that statement. I'm like, okay, I don't understand what the issue of me telling my fans, like, yo, look, it's not that serious of a deal. I went to jail for whatever. It's like, I didn't get for that 2 days why that was an issue. 2 days later, the TMZ report come out.
This wasn't even the only time that Tory alluded to this. On the track Sorry But I Had To from 2020's Daystar, Tory referenced the incident as well as his own business dealings with Jay's company. I made too much money with Roc Nation for them to be thinking I can't correlate the fact that it's only rappers out your roster hating. Contemplating these thoughts in my head, like, how the fuck you calling me threatening me not to make no statements? On another track entitled Bittersweet from that same project, he went at Hove directly and insinuated that he was hurt while also taking shots at the company's legal team, including Jill Scott. It hurt to say them words about Roc Nation management. Could jig a whole career, I've been a fan of it, and I'm just pissed about the way they handled it. I worked for this for years, and out of nowhere, here comes Jill trying to come smear campaign and damage it. Although he was eventually found guilty, the notion that Roc Nation was somehow involved has persisted, as his father took up the fight. In an emotional speech outside the courthouse, his dad said that Jay-Z and others ought to be ashamed of themselves.
You want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I got some names that I want to call. Alex Spiro, Desiree Perez, and the whole wicked system of Roc Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men, and you're still doing it.
Even from behind bars, Tory's insistence that Roc Nation interfered will not subside. Most recently, it was the turn of his own legal counsel, Sean Hawley, who he believes had a prior relationship with Roc Nation before becoming his lawyer. In his complaint, he called for her to face disciplinary action over what he described as serious ethics breaches, and demanded a refund of the hundreds of thousands of dollars he had paid her. This followed allegations that she instructed a DNA expert not to conduct tests on the gun involved, and abruptly withdrew from Lane's defense just 5 days before his guilty verdict, despite being paid nearly $300,000. In addition to his quest to take down Holly, he also spoke out against Desiree Perez, CEO of Roc Nation, who he believed played a role in assisting Megan with her statements to the police regarding the 2020 shooting incident.
So you guys, let me say this. With this, you got to understand, and this goes to the same thing that went on with Diddy. Remember when Shine was in the club with them and they pinned that whole case on him? Remember when the club got shot up, somebody was killed, or somebody got shot in the face. I think a woman got shot in the face and everything. And J-Lo had brought the gun into the club and everything, and Diddy did it, but they pinned everything on Shine. Shine ended up doing time, did some time, and they had the lawyers. They had his own lawyers and stuff working against him, right? The same thing, oh yeah, we'll hire your lawyer, we'll take care of it and stuff. But think about it. I hire your lawyer. I don't want to make that stuff come back on me, so I'm gonna make sure the lawyer that I hire for you do the job to make sure that stuff stay in your lap, and that's your problem. And I'm totally being, removed from the situation. So whatever happens, it's only gonna be about you. And that's the same thing they did. They made sure, hey, we're gonna take care of, we're gonna hire your lawyers and stuff like that. And boom, he ended up taking a rap. She get off. You see, and you don't know what kind of stuff going on in the background. If they got these deals, it could be a money thing coming up with their album. They look, we can try to get them locked up. That way we can steal the royalties. Different stuff like that happen. Think about all these people that dying up in jail and stuff like that that's coming from these labels. Michael Jackson came out, was yeah, Sony didn't know, but I outsmarted them, and now I own half of Sony. And next thing you know, Michael ended up dead. You see, and it was something like that happened with Prince too, man, where he was I think he bought his publishing, or he bought his book of music, man, and all of a sudden he ended up dead. Okay, this tends to happen. Michael Jackson had the Beatles book of music, and all of a sudden he ended up dead. And this stuff is being done in the background. We only get the side, the cover story at the end of the day. But there's a lot more going on to it. This is the same thing. Shine and Jay-Z. You got not Shine, Jay-Z. Shine and Puffy. Then you got over here Jay-Z and this Meg Thee Stallion and Tony Lenz. So is it coincidental that they kind of move the same, and these kind of corrupt cases tend to follow them everywhere they go? All right, and it's not just them, man. You look back in the history of music, it's always been some corrupt, some record deals that just wasn't right. Artists trying to get from under these dirty contracts. And then also they go into these parties and things. You don't know what kind of, evidence, videos that Jay-Z might got on Tony, Diddy got on him, and they can always jam them up to where hey, you gonna do what we say, or we gonna expose you with the videos that we got of you. So a lot of times they gotta play ball regardless.
At the moment, Tory isn't eligible for parole until 2029. But if how he feels at the moment doesn't change by the time he gets out, you can bet he'll be coming out Roc Nation's next on tracks and IG lives as soon as he's out. While Tory has hopes of turning his life around in time, not everyone that previously turned down Roc Nation is so lucky. Because for a rapper who went by the name of Young Dolph, his time was tragically cut short, allegedly. A mainstay of Memphis hip-hop, Young Dolph was a hugely talented rapper that delivered anthems for the streets over the course of a 13-year-plus career. And if you don't know anything about Dolph, you know he's a rapper who retained his independence at all costs, regularly shutting down rumors that he'd signed to labels that were trying to court him. For the last fucking time, I am not signed with nobody and never have been. Been independent my entire career. The leader of his own paper route empire, Dolph may have gotten cosigns, but he never had another boss other than himself for the entirety of his career.
It was just because of everything, bro. You just don't know. Bro, people tell me Dolph signed with Grand Hustle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never been saying a Green Hustle. That's my dog. Like, shout out to T.I. That's another nigga, like, I salute respect in the game. Dog signed to CMG, yo, guy. No, I ain't signed to CMG. And the most out of all of them, dog, was signed to Brick Squad. No, you know what I'm saying? Gucci, that's my dog. That's my trap, bro. I mess with him. You feel me? Like, he showed me a lot of love, so I showed him love back. Where I come from, man, anybody show you love, man, and show you that they want to see you win. You can't do nothing but embrace that. Show them the same love. You rock with them like they rock with you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. But, come on, it's just like I said, man. I was playing a quarter ticket before I ever met Gucci, man. And I met Gucci, man, way before people were talking about this. I was saying with Brick Squad, saying with Brick Squad. So, come on, man. That's old.
But there was a time where he did strongly consider signing to a label. And going on the strength of the clues he provided, it seems obvious that it was with The Roc. In various interviews after it went down, Dolph alluded to how he turned down a life-changing sum of money.
Man, I got myself in a fucked up ass situation, dog. I don't know what the fuck to do, dog. Now, I mean, really tell you the truth, I do know what to do, but I'm gonna let y'all know what's going on. Bro, for the last 6 months, I've been having a motherfucking $22 million contract debating on shit I do the deal or not. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, should I take the 22 million or fuck the 22 million? Fuck the 22 million.
Although he eventually decided to stay on his own grind, it wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision.
I turned down that 22 M. You know what I mean? Well, I went to my lawyer office. We talked, we go over it. We have been going over it for like the past 2 weeks. No, about 4 months. Oh, all right. The deal was good though. But I'm talking about on paper. We went over it was what I had wanted, like the structure of the whole. It was like, I'm gonna do it. And like, shit. Was it a joint venture 50-50 split? How was it? Yes. You know what I mean? But when I signed it, I'm in my lawyer office, I'm like, I'm gonna sign it so she can send it back. Bro, I leave, pull her right back up, go right back up to her office, get the contract to fold and tell her, fuck this shit, I don't want to do this shit.
In the end, he let them down, but insisted that it was nothing personal. Instead, Dolph made the decision to bide his time instead of taking the lump sum and cutting another party in.
It wasn't even no hard feelings, it wasn't nothing against them or none. It's like, I stand on this shit. I stamp this shit. A lot of people talk this shit. I stand on this shit. You know what I mean? So it's like it didn't. Like, okay, 22 million. What's the difference between you getting that 22 million at one time and you getting it over a 12-month span of time to an 18-month span of time? Right. What's the fucking difference? Right. What you finna do with it?
By August of 2020, Dolph was dominating his own way. Alongside his own projects popping off and Rich Slave becoming his highest charting album by peaking at number 4, he was beginning to make his way as a real label boss with Paper Route Empire too. But this would all be brought to a tragic halt in 2021 when he was gunned down in front of a Memphis cookie shop. The news broke the hearts of hip-hop fans all over the world and left his family and friends to pick up the pieces of what he was building. But what people didn't expect is that as posthumous tracks began to seep out, Dolph would actually mention his dealings with Roc Nation and his desire for a Ho feature too. Showing up, Plain Jane Rolex, had a meeting with Roc Nation. But they got about 4, 5, 6 rappers over there that be hating. But I still fuck with Jigga. Tell him I got $2 million for him to do a verse, and if he don't, I still got love for him. In these bars, Dolph suggests that the reason why he didn't sign with Roc Nation is on the account of the fact that he had enemies on the roster. And now, the brother of someone who is on the Roc Nation roster has actually been cited as the man who put the hit out on Dolph, which just makes the whole thing seem to connect full circle. Again, this is not like 100% true, but it's really interesting.
So, what I find interesting about it, man, if y'all remember, and I played a video before, this was some months. This was a couple years ago, actually, where DMX, you know, he got signed to Roc Nation. He was with Rockefeller, right? And when he got over there, he complained about how it's like they like shelved him. He got over there and he's ready to do work and all that. He's like, Jay-Z is out kicking it on the beach. I'm trying to drop my album. He ain't answering. He ain't trying to, come to the studio, help me get this done. He's not trying to, like, they put my album on hold. Like, I couldn't put nothing out. It's like they basically was strongholding him to whereas he no longer could be the hot artist that he was. Okay, so basically it was them getting a monopoly. So you think about it, Jay-Z, you think about the plans, the book that Kim Porter put out. She was talking about how Jay-Z and Puffy had conspired together to basically get a stronghold on the music industry, on hip hop, which they did. In so many ways. They got, artists that they probably wouldn't have been nobody, and they made them somebody. And then the artist that was hot at the time, which was Pac and Big, they did away with them. Okay, and this is based off of what Kim was putting in our book. Like, they were behind those assassinations, right? And then they go and they sign guys like DMX, and they get them to where you can't put out no music. Okay, they own your publishing, they own all your rights and stuff. So you basically have eliminated the competition by owning the competition and also eliminating the competition. So they took two different approaches, but at the end of the day, who was on top? Bad Boy and Jayz. You know, they were the hottest ones out, but look, they got Drake up under their label and stuff, and then, you know, they part of the mainstream. So guys like Kendrick Lamar didn't really get the love that they supposed to get. They like on the outside of that. And they put out more conscious music. Like Kendrick Lamar is more so on the spiritual side, putting out more conscious music, music for the soul. Whereas Drake puts out a lot of the mainstream stuff that the media, you know, pushes out at us and that they eat up. So you can kind of see why we have like these levels with the entertainment industry. You got the elite, the tier group. There's part of what they've been Bad Boy, Rockefeller, and it's another label that's connected to Aftermath with Dre and them. Okay, Snoop been with them, and they have kind of had a monopoly on the music industry on the hip hop side. Okay, but we also know that they've been directly linked to a lot of this satanic shit, pedophilia, and all this stuff. Y'all see what happened to Eminem, man. Eminem is no longer with us. If you don't know that, that is not Eminem. I don't know how many times I need to tell y'all that. I think Eminem was speaking out. He was trying to go against it too, man. And next thing you know, he ended up looking real synthetic. You know, so there may be something to that, man. Maybe M was, you know, really trying to get away from them. I know B.O.B. I don't know who B.O.B. was with, but he came out speaking on the cloning centers and everything that was going on too. And his career just kind of bottomed up after that. But you look at Young Dolph was able to start, you know, making noise, and then they came for him, tried to get him to sign. He ain't signed. Now he's dead. All right. The same thing that the Kim was talking about with Puffy, man. Artists that weren't going to mess with him, he did something, had their careers kind of tied up, jammed up. People wouldn't mess with them because he put the word out. All right. So this is another way that they've been moving, you know, in the background. So
when defendant Cornelius Smith took to the stand to expose what really went down on the day of Dolph's killing, he provided the motive for the crime by stating that Yo Gotti's brother, Big Juke, who had since passed on too, greenlit the killing. In response, Shelby County Assistant District Attorney Paul Hagerman declared that Big Juke, the person I told you about before, the number 2 guy at CMG, he put out a hit, 100,000 to whoever kills Dolph. He met with Justin, he has met with Cornelius, and they think they're ready to do it. Considering that Dolph and Gotti were in a feud for years that could merit an entire video of its own, it's no surprise that the PRE leader felt a way about Jay standing by Gotti. But now, things look like they might get really complicated. It's about to get dicey. Since he said Juke put out the hit, if they can trace the payment back to anything related to Gotti, he might be in some shit. While Gotti probably isn't complaining, getting concrete evidence to say that he specifically asked for it is probably not going to happen. If they'd gotten Dolph on the roster, Roc Nation would have had one of the biggest names in the South at their disposal, and would certainly reap the rewards. But that wasn't the only cultural leader that they were after who has since passed on. Because for a while, they were after the signature of a man who had the youth hanging on his every word. From the outset of his career, XXXTentacion was an individual who captured the public's imagination. On early tracks like Look at Me, the Floridian rapper laid out the blueprint for a whole new approach to the game, which fascinated everyone who encountered it. So much so that labels were ready to immediately overlook the fact that he was in jail and facing domestic abuse charges, eagerly reaching out to gauge interest in signing him, including none other than Roc Nation. In an interview after the fact, a former roommate of Roc Nation revealed that while he was locked up, they reached out to try and get him to sign a deal.
I was on the phone with Roc Nation, and I was on a fucking call with AR from Roc Nation. This nigga was like, yo, we trying to sign X. And I remember like talking to X, fucking phone calls from jail with the people that's like calling him to make deals with him, trying to sign him to, you know, wherever, trying to sign him to a label. I was on the phone with Roc Nation, and he was like, yo, we trying to sign X. And that was like one of the biggest deal offerings that he had. So I was trying to get him on the phone. And X was
For a lot of people, this would have been a golden opportunity. But for an artist like X, this wasn't feasible for him, as taking the deal meant sacrificing his vision or his masters.
X didn't want to sign with nobody. He felt like his ass was too good, and that's okay. As an artist, you're definitely entitled to feel like that, because if you don't want to be tied down to no damn record label and you got to do what you got to do for them, you want to do what you got to do for yourself, you're entitled to do that for yourself. So I could understand that. He was like, yo, I don't want to sign, but I was like, damn, this is a big ass deal.
Over time, XXXTentacion stayed on his independent grind and eventually signed a distribution deal with Empire, which was worth millions. However, there's no telling how big that bag could have been if he took Ho's offer on board. Still, it seems like this was an instance where Jay understood. For starters, it's believed that he prevented Vic Mensa, who called him an abuser during what has now become one of the most controversial freestyles, from dissing X while the rapper was still alive.
I was dissing another rapper really for no reason. Wow. And that really just kind of shifted my perspective on it. And I'm like, I don't need to be tearing down another young black man, regardless of if I like the music or not. It's like we have so much opposition outside of our community trying to eat off of us, and parasites just trying to feed off of our energy. And there's no need for us to be tearing each other down. We got to be more unified than that.
As you probably know by now, XXXTentacion would sadly be killed in his hometown during a robbery outside a motorsports dealership. Once again, the world was left in shock. And this time, Jay-Z referenced his outrage over what happened to X within his feature on Drake's Talk Up in 2018. I got your president tweeting, I won't even meet with him. Y'all killed X and let Zimmerman live. The streets are done. As the news that Roc Nation wanted to sign him emerged, fans had an interesting response to it. Because for some people, they felt like it could have preserved his life by relocating him out of his hometown. And sadly, there's no way of knowing how things could have played out. Meanwhile, other rappers who turned down Roc Nation have seen their attempts to cross over into the US market stall. Just look at the case of Nasty C. Ever since he first emerged, South Africa's Nasty C has been killing it in his home nation ever since his mixtape days. Despite never landing on the US charts, he became renowned to the extent that he secured features from the likes of Benny the Butcher, French Montana, Lil Keed, Ari Lennox, T.I., and many more. But while this is impressive for him to have managed under his own steam, he could have had the Roc Nation checkbook behind him. Back in 2016, rumors were swirling around that he was in talks with Roc Nation to come aboard their team. But rather than just say no, Nasty decided to blow the whistle on how they deal with their signees. I don't want an average Roc Nation contract, he said. I don't want a set standard record deal. I want something different. I've seen the language they use in contracts, and I've seen enough people get blindsided, so I'm cautious about contracts. Maybe I just got my guard up. While it's unclear exactly what went down, Nasty C speculated that he was warned by 50 Cent, who became somewhat of a mentor to him, to stay away from Hov and Diddy.
It wasn't even that deep. No, we didn't even talk about none of that. We just spoke about regular shit. Cars, jewelry, life, niggas being fake, bitches, all that type of shit.
Niggas being fake. Who be fake?
A lot of people.
Rather than take the offer that was on the table, Nasty C decided to stick to his guns. But it might have had unintended consequences. Because now, his supporters point to the fact that he rejected Roc Nation as the reason why he never broke through. And that's one of the main reasons why Nasty C hasn't won a Grammy Award. That's why things are not easy for him overseas. Through Nasty C, we get a sense that sometimes people take a look at the contract and immediately run the other way. And as it turns out, he's really not the only one. Among the legends of the Bay Area, Oakland's Filthy Rich had a massive amount of momentum at one stage and has dropped a truly prolific amount of music over the years. More impressively, he did it all independently, and this ensured that he managed to keep every cent of his earnings to himself. And Roc Nation took note of his success to the point that they tried to sign him. However, Filthy immediately said no because they wanted to get their hands on music that they wanted nothing to do with, and basically tried to sign him to a 360.
They wanted to do a deal with me with Roc Nation, but they wanted all my back catalog. It's down there a 360 deal. I'm like, no, we could start from here, because they was trying to say that they was going to bring, this was the management side, that they was going to bring the labels and these placements and these looks and all this bigger shit. That's the only thing I've never done is sign a major deal. So I was with it for like an album or something to see how it worked. And then, they didn't want to do it that way. They wanted to do it this way. They want a piece of touring and merch and everything. So luckily I didn't do it because right after that the pandemic hit. So it wasn't even no touring. So if I would have signed that, they would have just been getting paid off my back catalog that they had nothing to do with. And I wouldn't ever been got paid for no shows because I wouldn't be able to do that. So luckily I didn't. You get what I'm saying?
Shockingly, he's not alone in this either, because Sauce Walka has a very similar story. The Texas-based rapper had a major come up in the mid-2010s, dropping tape after tape via his own Sauce Factory imprint. Similar to the approach with Filthy, Roc Nation set their sights on the Haitian rapper, but their demands for a larger share of his earnings were more than what he was willing to agree to.
Jay had his people reach out to me, and we all got on the car and shit, and we all talked about it, and, you know what I'm saying, and they sent me over some contracts, and with Roc Nation, it was a cool deal, $5 million management deal, but they still wanted ownership with the catalog too, though. I just didn't want to strictly do management and touring and shows and like other source publishing, like that type of revenue without the catalog. They wanted my entire catalog to be moved over and whoopty wham, and that's just something that I always never been comfortable with because I'm an artist that came in guns swinging. So I recorded a lot of albums every year that I released.
Since then, Sauce's career has had its fair share of ups and downs, including a whole succession of legal issues. Despite this, one of the drippiest rappers to ever live insists that he's always getting money regardless.
Then we got the corporate stacks right here. We stacks, we got ones, we got 20s, I have one, the 50s, you know what I'm saying? Then we got them. 10, 20, 30, all blue. Blue Clues. No rest. Blue Clues, man. Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? We ride around with 100. We ride around like that. I'm going straight to hearing. Every time I get paid, I'm going to hearing and I'm getting laid. Oh, it was another. Oh, damn. That was another. We forget about money. I am the great one.
At every turn, these stories depict Roc Nation as a company who are capable of pulling off shady maneuvers, and sometimes rappers catch them in the act just in time. According to La Russell, they tried to pull a slick move on him, and he was incredibly lucky that he noticed before he put the pen to paper.
Roc Nation, man, they just did some funny shit. They sent me an offer, and the first one was the terms, but then it had no money attached to it. It was just a $15,000 discretionary fund. You're going to deliver these projects under these terms, 10% 360, $15K discretionary fund. That's yours. I went to the office. They're like, what you think? What you going to do? And I'm like, bruh, where's the money? Like, where the numbers? He's like, what you mean? And I'm like, bro, it's only $15K. And he's like, oh, no, this ain't it. He makes a call. He's like, yo, it ain't no numbers on the offer. They sent a new offer in like 30 seconds. The new offer was much larger, but by that time I was turned off. If I would have signed this $15K, would you have told me you made a mistake? And then you made a $750,000 mistake? I don't want to do business with niggas who make mistakes that big. You gonna fuck my business up, right? But I just felt like that was hella slimy and it wasn't a great representation. And that's why I was like, I gotta holler at Hov, because I got, do you know your niggas moving like this? Right. And if you do, it's good. I see you, but I just felt disrespectful.
While these stories are damning in the face of many rappers who ignored their attempts to sign cause suspicion, there are others who have prospered after turning down Roc Nation. In fact, they seem mindful that they dodged a bullet by managing to avoid signing to the company without sacrificing the relationship with Jay-Z. Mentioned by Jay's longtime friend and collaborator Ty Ty, St. John opened up about why he didn't sign to the company, and said that betting on himself was among the best decisions he's ever made.
And by the 36th month, we should have a hit record, right? Based on the plan. It was a real plan nowadays. They want you to come in, ain't no A&R, you gotta come with, you gotta know it's you. So how you do business with Jay and Roc Nation now? I didn't. We ain't got nothing. Why? It wasn't the right thing at the right time. Y'all still talk? Yeah, we all got a great relationship. But why you don't do business with Jay? Like, I think everybody that you got a great relationship with ain't somebody you got to do business with. That's true too. And sometimes you just wait on timing too, though. The timing is the most important thing. Because at the time, Tata was like, yo, whatever you want to do, we want to do. So if you want to do management,
we're down to do management. We want to do publishing. We want to do publishing. You want to do sign to the label? We can do that. I said, look, I'm be honest with you. I don't want to do nothing. I want to do it myself. I said that and I meant it. I'm like, I just want to do it myself. It's cool.
Now, he's doing his thing and even squashed his beef with Roc Nation signee Lil Uzi, which resulted in a fight at a diner over a girl at this year's star-studded brunch. Another prime example of using Roc Nation on your terms is Tyler, the Creator. Long before they ever collabed on bike.
See, what's crazy though, guys, is that like they just put up Lil Uzi Vert, man. I don't know if y'all familiar with the guy, man, but just like Young Thug, man, you talk about these artists, like they sign these contracts, but what's in the fine print with these contracts is that they have to engage in certain type of activities and things too, or they might have to do what the label requests. Like if they say you need to wear a dress, then you need to wear a dress. If you need to perform some type of ritual, like if they want you to do something to influence, you see what I'm saying? I had this conversation with my buddy, man, because he's he's very, very naive. He doesn't understand nothing about how this world operates. He doesn't understand none of this, right? So I was having a conversation with him, and he was talking about, he was like, well, what need would they have to clone Eminem? Why would they want to clone Dave Chappelle or Gucci Man? Because of the influence that these artists are able to have over the youth. Okay, if the youth see them painting their fingernails, if they see them wearing a dress, guess what? They're going to want to do that. They look up to they idolize. These are role models. This is why it's so important. And you got a lot of these kids, man, that don't have fathers in the home. Okay, there's no fathers present. They only been influenced by their mother or their sisters or girls, and their only representation or impression of a man is someone that's wearing a dress. They think about it. You reach them with the lyrics, the music reached them. Now you got their attention. Now you tell them to go put on a dress. You tell them to go paint your fingernails. You tell them to go put on some lipstick. You see what I'm saying? They do this, and these kids respond. It's the what's it, the Pied Piper effect. Or y'all remember the old folk tale, man? I did a video on it, man, and that's why, like R. Kelly, the Pied Piper, prime example. He got the influence over all the kids, and then once he gets them to a certain point, tells them to do stuff that's out of character, that's inhumane, or stuff that's might be deemed as satanic or sinister in their approach to living or relationships or sexual habits, whatever. Like they do these things. Like they had Hannah Montana. She groomed a whole slew of little girls, man, from the ages of, like, my nieces was caught up in that, from the age of like 3 and 4. My nieces, they loved Hannah Montana. They loved Hannah Montana. Like everything was Hannah Montana. They loved her to death. And at one point, like after she got to a certain age, like that ripe age of like 14, that was really good. Like the age where my nieces was starting to come to their own. Then she showed them this other side. Like she turned my nieces into, I think she's directly responsible for a lot of these little girls that end up crossing over, man, and going, and deciding to deal, with same sex to be bi or whatever, or homosexual, and that was something she was led to do, because think about it, this ties back into the satanic side of stuff, man. It ties back into the Baphomet and the transgenderism that is being pushed and forced down our throats today. It's the reason why they wanted to push these drag queens in the school and had them teaching your kindergartners. Like, at what age is it okay for a kindergartner to be learning from a transgender or a drag queen? Think about it. These are the most impressionable ages for these children, man. The most impressionable ages. You throw that confusion in their life, and then you give them the option at the same time to change their sex before they know what sex is. You don't think that this is an orchestrated, organized attack on the youth? Like, I remember, I was just talking, man. I remember when it was it was not, or it wasn't commonplace for you to see a man and a woman on TV kissing. You could not see a man and a woman being intimate on regular TV, just like you couldn't hear curse words on regular radio. Now you got curse words on regular radio. You got kids listening to TikTok and they doing these dances, they cursing, they saying all this stuff, and it's being programmed in their mind. That stuff, the morals and values is out the windows. These girls is being taught to be, promiscuous and everything else. And the TV commercials, like I was just watching the NFL. I watched the NFL, and like my sons watch the NFL, and at some point the commercial comes on, and the first thing you see is two grown men kissing on the commercial. This is national TV. Back in the day, you couldn't even see that a grown man and a woman kissing. And we ain't just talking about like pecking, they all in it, right? This is the stuff that's being promoted on the youth right now. Okay, so this is the stuff that's also been coming through the music. It's been kind of slowly being, filtrated through, and to the point now where it's accepted. It's accepted. It's the norm. Nobody bats an eye at it. And then we look like, why we got all these dang confused ass kids? Why is the society, like, I don't know if you know this, but it's almost to a thing where it's like it's 50-50 now. I'm just being honest with you, where it's frowned upon to be a heterosexual and it's accepted to be a homosexual. And they using the music and the entertainment, the news, the sports, they using that to influence. All right. They're using the TV and they're using the radio to influence the youth to be homosexual, to be bi-curious, okay, to be transgenderism. And then after they influence and they push and they force it down these kids' throats through the cartoons and stuff, then they say, guess what? If you want, you can change your sex. Yeah, you're 8 years old and you don't even have sex. You don't know what sex is. You don't even know how to perform the act. But before you even learn how to use the tools that God gave you, we gonna take them from you and we gonna give you a new set of tools. You see how that works? And then they try to then they want to criticize you if you are heterosexual. You almost get a bad name, a bad rap if you're a heterosexual and you say anything out of line, about a homosexual. Okay, and I don't know, and I'm not gonna go deep into it because I don't want to get this video flagged. But I just wanted to point that out to you guys that it started long ago in the music, and it was slowly being filtrated in to whereas nobody would trip off of it. Like if we just do a little and a little at a time, at some point it's gonna be accepted, and then nobody's gonna trip off because they've been getting it. It's like a soft disclosure. You see what I mean? And they slowly filtrating it in. But like I said, Uzi Vert, you see video, pictures of him, man. I could pull up. I'm not gonna go into it right now. Y'all know I'll start pulling up images and showing y'all the dude in the skirt. He got a purse. He wearing little girl leotards and tights. He got a diamond pressed into his forehead. He got his lip pierced and all this. You got Young Thug. He wearing a dress, a wedding dress, and he got a purse and stuff. These are the youth that they trying to address with this stuff, man. This is not a mistake. That's a very direct approach, man, that's been instilled in the music, that's been looked over, and now it's being pushed more so in regular TV, commercials and stuff, man. You can be talking about a commercial about Cheerios or something, man. They gonna make sure they put you a good dose of homosexuality in there to take down with your Cheerios. All right. And the kids are so confused now, man. It's why you do have kids that are asking to have sex changes. They don't even know. You ask them what they change and they don't even know what they doing. So why would you? And then you got these artists, like, think about it. I showed you D Wade, him cool with Jay-Z and LeBron. So now do it surprise you that D Wade is kind of, setting his son out to be a woman? Do it surprise you when you understand who he's related to and the type of stuff that they've been on? Do it surprise you that Will Smith, is doing that when Will Smith been doing what? Kim Porter told you he was doing, things with with Puffy, right? And you know, Jay-Z, if Jay-Z was there, I'm sure Jay-Z had done some stuff with Will Smith too. So does it surprise you that they kids is doing this stuff? And then you see Jaden Smith in a dress? No, because they're pushing that, they're promoting that. And if you're not a part of that, man, they're gonna make sure that your career don't go where it's supposed to go. You know, so it's people, not just Jay-Z and Puffy and them, it's people above them. All right. So they pushing that, they grooming these kids through the music, they grooming them through the commercials, the TV, the cartoons, man, animated videos and stuff, man. Everything that they put out now, man, you gotta watch it because they putting something through it in it. You gotta comb through this stuff with a fine tooth comb at this point. But they got something for your kid. You better believe it.
Alongside Frank Ocean, the Odd Future leader was summoned to Hov's home where he tried to blindside him with a deal, but instead, he chose to keep control over his career.
That nigga invited us to one of his LA homes. We ate some tacos and he wanted to sign us. It was crazy. A lot of people were just interested and was like, yo, let's try to do something, da-da-da. But like, I'm like, I don't know. Nah, I just want creative control and do everything.
After he came forward with this story, people were very happy that he made the call. Very good move for Tyler. But that wasn't the end of their interactions, and in the years since, he's taken Jay's help on his terms.
Going to that man's house is just enough to just be like, oh, you could do this. You could like be a fuck up, figure it out, be good, be great, and do this. And like, bro, that man's what, 51? Bro, he has the spirit of an excited 16-year-old at basketball camp. Seriously, like
about everything.
He's just fun and like he's ageless. Like I don't know how to explain it. That man is.
Well, I know he's dialed into everything. I know he really loves the culture, like constantly.
Bro, he's a geek, and that's why geeks are so important.
When it comes to Roc Nation, it seems like this may be the best way to operate because sometimes you sign with them and you still don't get what you want. Just look at Lil Wayne. Back when Weezy was struggling with Cash Money, Roc Nation and Tidal assisted in the release of the Free Weezy album. Wayne appreciated this immensely, and he even pledged allegiance to the team in 2017 during a show in Pennsylvania. But even after doing all of that, he was still denied what he truly desired, and that was the Super Bowl. It's been one of the biggest stories of this year, with people wondering what happened to make Jay-Z skip over Wayne, getting his wish to perform in his hometown in favor of Kendrick Lamar. And if you want to find out more about that whole situation and how Weezy hasn't exactly handled it best, you can click one of the two videos on the screen. It's your boy Luesta, and I want to thank all of y'all for watching today's video. If you guys...
And now they got Lil Wayne and Kendrick Lamar beefing too. Funny, quiet as kept. Anyhow, guys, I just wanted to play that video because I thought it was interesting that you had these artists that somehow end up dead. You know, their careers end up bottoming up because they crossed Roc Nation. All right, they had these same situations with Puffy and his camp. You know, all them artists that's from Danity Kane, Day 26, the Making a Band crew. You know, 112. Total, all of them got something to say about how he just destroyed their careers and took all their money. And you got DMX over here, like he was with Roc Nation, and you know his stuff bottom up. They was trying to get XX Tentacion, and he ended up dead, right? And he was said to be rival to Drake. So they was like, you know, Drake might have had something to do with this. It's speculation. All right, we can't say for sure what happened, but it is ironic, you know, that these artists, and this is how they've been moving. And you guys got to think about this too, man. Think about this. They're not being subjected to the same laws and stuff that we are, you know, as regular people. I told you that, man, they got feds and stuff that's on their side, that's making things disappear, you know, records, criminal charges, allegations and things, witnesses and stuff, people winding up dead, just like the long list of killeries folks that she done had. I mean, it's a laundry list of people that was working with her that's just dead, and don't nobody know nothing, and can't nobody link nothing together, man, because these folks rock together. That's why you see them supporting them when they campaigns and stuff for presidency and stuff. So there's a long list of corruption that's going on that level, man. It spills over into, you know, from music to even sports, and, you know, Hollywood in itself, you know, the political arena. a lot of these folks involved, man, a lot of these people have immunity basically because they've been on the wrong side, which has really been the right side for them. It's been the wrong side of, you know, a lot of the stuff that's going on. But like I told y'all, man, you see a lot of people resigning, a lot of stuff happening in Hollywood right now, a lot of political figures, man, moving out their seats and stuff because of the shift in the things that's happening. Cat Williams said it best in 2024. A lot of stuff was going to be exposed. A lot of stuff has been exposed, okay, and it's continuing to be exposed. Some of the biggest figures, man, that we've known in some of these different arenas, man, are starting to run for the hills. All right, they getting jammed up with stuff, man. I like to see what happens moving forward with your guy Frachi and who's the other guy? Frachi and I seen Justin Trudeau. He just stepped down, you know, oddly enough. But he's the prime minister over there in Canada, if y'all not aware who that is. What's his name? Dang, who's the governor of California? Can't think of him right now. Well, was the governor of California. Dang. Why can't I think of his name right now? I say him all the time. Anyway, something's supposed to be going on with him too. Can't say for sure, but I believe he's been replaced. If I'm not mistaken, if y'all know who I'm talking about, put it in the chat. So we can see sometime. Thanks, Memphis. Yeah, I put the Cash App, man. I put the Cash App in the on the screen, man. You see at the bottom, man. If anybody wants to make donations to the channel, man, I appreciate you guys for looking out because, like I said, I haven't been paid for the content that I've been doing for over 4 years now. So all of my anything as far as contributions, man, has come through, you know, just people that have donated when they wanted to, and that's cool, man. Like I said, I haven't asked for anything. Also, I've been putting this stuff together for you guys, man. Kind of showing y'all, taking y'all down the rabbit hole, man, from every angle of this, from, you know, the things that we dealing with on a regular basis, as far as, you know, the air, the food, the water, the medicine, to the type of stuff that's going on through the programming, the music, entertainment, man, the attacks from the political arena, whose side is who, and, you know, even on the side as far as, you know, your straw man and everything. Like, all of this stuff, man, is interconnected, and it's important that you know the facts, you know the different insights that might, you know, affect your life personally, directly, man, or indirectly, you know. But a lot of people, like, out of sight, out of mind, they think stuff don't affect it, don't apply to them, but it do, man. And even like for your kids, man, the music and stuff they put out, you think this stuff ain't affecting them when your kid is sitting up there, you know, cursing and doing all this stuff and moving a certain kind of way at a certain age. That, you know, for us at our age, man, we were younger. Like, some of this stuff was so far-fetched, you would never see us doing or acting in any type of way like some of these kids do today. And it's basically because of the direction that this stuff is taking, and it's being pushed that way. Okay, and they want to take God out of school and stuff like that, prayer out of school and stuff. Man, just look at the folks that's been in position to do it. And if somebody's coming in and they trying to change it and put God back in the schools, they trying to give you your rights back. And that's all I see from the Trump aspect. And I'm not going to go in the depth about that, but I do see things going back in a direction that it should go right now. So we can be appreciative of that if that's where it continues to go. All right. So I'm not going to make this video any longer, man. It wasn't supposed to be this long, man. But I told y'all, man, I've been on a 3 week, no, it's been about 6 weeks, 6-week hiatus, I guess, where I have not been around. I know people been like hitting me up like, Ned, where you at? What's going on, man? You know, I just had to take a break, man. Like I said, got a lot of stuff that I wanted to talk to y'all about. A lot of stuff, man. Probably gonna hit on it next video, man. I don't know if you guys saw, but I was gonna dig into the drones. It was the drones that was going around, man, spraying. A lot of people ended up sick and stuff right now. They've had drones going around spraying crap while people sleep, man. something we need to probably talk about. I might go in depth about that. Aside from that, I saw what happened with TD Jakes it was about a month and a half ago now. Yeah. Oddly enough, y'all know TD Jakes. He was one of the ones that was promoting whatchamacallit. And all of a sudden he got a stroke, heart attack, whatever, one or the other. But oddly enough, you know, that man was up there doing something he shouldn't have been doing. And that's all I'm going to say. And we'll touch on that probably in the next video. But anyway, man, I hope everybody's well, man. If you haven't had a chance to catch any of my latest videos, man, you probably need to go to Rumble if you're on YouTube, because I'm pretty much cleaning off everything off YouTube, man. We're going to try to start fresh on my YouTube, man, because I'm taking too much heat over there. All right. So anyway, man, hope everybody's good. I will catch you on the next video.